The drive to eliminate your mortgage feels like a moral victory, but for young professionals navigating high inflation, this psychological win often comes with a hidden price tag that erodes long-term wealth. You are not just paying off debt, you may be forfeiting significant tax advantages and compound growth potential in favor of a false sense of security. Today, we expose the mathematical reality behind the desire to be debt-free and reveal why redirecting those payments could build your future far faster than eliminating them ever will. Consider the sheer scale of this financial inefficiency across American households. Research by Ammerman, Huang, and Xiaom reveals that approximately 38% of homeowners who accelerate mortgage paydowns are making a suboptimal choice. They are effectively ignoring tax arbitrage opportunities where redirecting funds to tax-deferred accounts yields higher net returns, particularly when investing in fixed-income securities or broad market index funds over the long term. This isn't about being reckless with your savings. It is about recognizing that paying down a low-interest loan provides a guaranteed but often inferior return compared to what you could earn elsewhere after taxes. The primary financial downside for many young professionals lies in the loss of the mortgage interest deduction. While this benefit has been scaled back by recent tax law changes, it remains a critical lever for those who itemize deductions and have substantial outstanding principal. By paying off your loan early, you eliminate the ability to deduct that home mortgage interest from your taxable income. This reduces your taxable income and effectively lowers the real cost of debt, creating a scenario where the risk-free return of paying off a loan is lower than the after-tax return of tax-advantaged investing. When inflation is high, this dynamic shifts even further in favor of keeping the debt on the books while deploying capital into assets that outpace rising prices. Imagine you have an extra $5,000 to put toward your home every year. If you apply it to your principal, you are buying a guaranteed return equal to your mortgage interest rate minus any tax savings lost from removing that deduction. However, if you instead direct those same funds into a Roth IRA or a 401(k), you gain immediate tax benefits and the power of compounding growth over decades. For many in higher tax brackets with fixed-rate mortgages, this strategy yields superior returns for those who prioritize wealth maximization over debt elimination. The psychological reward often creates a false sense of security that ignores the opportunity cost of illiquid capital, a critical failure mode when your net worth is tied up in an asset you cannot easily access or sell without penalty. Quick resource note: I keep a curated set of Amazon search links in the description for books, gear, and tools relevant to this channel's topics. Some are affiliate links, so I may earn a commission at no extra cost to you. Please consider supporting the channel by using those links if you find something useful. This widespread inefficiency costs United States households an estimated $1.5 billion annually. It represents a massive transfer of wealth from those who prioritize debt aversion to those who understand the mechanics of leverage and tax efficiency. The data strongly supports investment over prepayment for many, yet the universal application of this advice must be qualified by individual risk tolerance and tax circumstances. If you are in a lower tax bracket or carry a variable rate mortgage that could spike unexpectedly, the math changes entirely. But for the young professional with a stable job, a fixed rate locked in at historically low levels, and a high marginal tax rate, the path of least resistance is often the most expensive one to take in terms of foregone wealth. Let us look closer at how inflation alters this equation. When prices are rising rapidly, the money you use to pay down your mortgage today buys less than it will tomorrow. By paying extra principal now, you are essentially locking up capital that loses purchasing power over time while receiving a fixed return on that payment in terms of interest saved. Conversely, if those funds were invested in an inflation-hedged asset or simply held as cash equivalents earning higher yields during high-rate environments, the real value of your portfolio could grow significantly faster than the reduction of your debt balance would ever allow. The risk-free nature of a paid-off mortgage is illusory when measured against the erosion of currency and the missed compounding opportunities in taxable investment vehicles. Furthermore, the liquidity constraint imposed by early payoff can be dangerous during life's inevitable emergencies. Home equity is not cash. It requires selling your home or taking out a second loan to access those funds, both of which carry transaction costs and potential delays. If you have an emergency medical bill, a job loss, or a sudden need for capital to seize another investment opportunity, Being debt-free does not provide immediate liquidity in the same way that liquid investments do. The binary state of zero debt is attractive because it simplifies your balance sheet visually, but financial health requires flexibility and access to capital when you need it most without relying on credit lines or selling assets at a loss. This approach also assumes your mortgage rate remains static forever, which may not be true for everyone, though fixed rates offer protection against future spikes. However, even with a low fixed rate, the opportunity cost of prepayment becomes more pronounced as time passes and compound interest works in reverse. The longer you hold that debt, the more leverage you have to amplify your investment returns without increasing your monthly cash flow burden beyond what is affordable today. For those who can comfortably afford their current mortgage payments plus additional contributions to retirement accounts, paying off the loan early often represents a misallocation of resources rather than a prudent financial strategy. The conclusion we must reach is that being debt-free is not inherently superior if it comes at the expense of your net worth growth potential. The psychological relief of having no monthly obligation is real and valuable for many people who find anxiety in carrying any form of liability. However, this emotional benefit should be weighed carefully against the hard numbers showing how much wealth you are leaving on the table by ignoring tax benefits and compounding returns. For young professionals specifically, where time is their greatest asset, prioritizing investment over early payoff can result in a significantly larger retirement nest egg than any amount of interest saved ever could provide. The decision to pay off your mortgage or invest that extra cash depends entirely on your specific financial situation, tax bracket, and risk tolerance. There is no single right answer for every household, but understanding the trade-offs allows you to make an informed choice rather than one driven solely by cultural pressure. If you find yourself in a position where paying down debt yields a lower after-tax return than investing, consider that your home might be better served as collateral and leverage while you build wealth elsewhere with greater efficiency. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. I am a one-person team working hard to make each video better than the last. Subscribe if you found value. It is the best way to show support. Drop a comment with your biggest takeaway. See you in the next video.